It's king crab season on Alaska's Bering Sea. A handful of adventurers will battle Arctic weather, rogue waves, and deadly steel
Get away from the pot, you get away!
for the chance at big money in this modern-day gold rush. On day one of this king crab season, the Bering Sea already claimed the 86-foot Raven.
Bay Kodiak, this is the Raven. We're laying way over on our side.
On average, the Bering Sea takes one unfortunate soul every week of the season, making Alaskan crab fishing the deadliest job on Earth. And with the cold and fatigue setting in, it's during the last crucial hours of the season when most tragedies occur.
19.45, hurry.
There's 2 men in the water now. One's unaccounted for.
Just looking for the guy overboard.
Okay, they've lost him?
Little TV, we're there.
Four days into this king crab season, the fleet is spread out over thousands of square miles in eastern Bristol Bay. According to Fish and Game estimates, the fleet has caught 11 million pounds of crab, 3 million shy of this year's quota. At this rate, the season will close in approximately 36 hours. In the remaining hours of this frenzied 5-day crab derby, it's an all-out war. Aboard the Northwestern,
That is good.
fourth-generation fisherman Captain Sig Hansen has dropped his pots in all the right places this year, and it's paying off big time. At this pace, the deckhands could earn $50,000 each for only 5 days' work.
That's money.
But as any skipper knows, good fortune can be short-lived.
The one thing about king crab is they're so elusive. It's like you think you got them figured out, and then you slam all your gear in an area and they're gone.
But aboard the Sea Star, luck has been elusive for Captain Larry Hendricks. For 4 days, they have been laying pots in a crab wasteland.
I assume this last spot was 0. It's the first 0 for the season.
Damn it.
Desperately in need of better fishing grounds, Captain Larry Hendricks makes a bold move.
Oh, I'm just looking for some old fishing grounds from back in the 70s. I'm gonna run westward, take a gamble, go where no boats have gone in years.
50 miles to the southeast, the Erla N is making a last-ditch effort to come back from a broken oil cooler that has left them crippled in their hunt for crab.
03, 01, 05. That was not worth the effort. We're putting the effort level in here. I mean, everybody is busting their butt, and it's just not going our way.
With their engine now fixed, Captain Bing Hinkle can search for better fishing grounds.
This particular string right here, that's where the crab don't live. So we're gonna haul them as fast as we can and move them to where they do live.
But with so little time left, he's making a risky move.
Well, we just got word that it closes tomorrow evening at 1800, which gives us 30 hours to get all our gear on board and catch some crab. I'm gonna take a chance and run down here 30 miles and set 80 pots. And it's gonna be real tight whether we're gonna make it or not. Well, we gotta go for it. Okay, let's go for it. Go down and tell the crew. We got a 30-mile run. Gonna dump these off, 30 mile back up the hill, and it's over tomorrow night at 1800. Let them know.
We do what we can do. That's it. Bing found a place. He's got a chance of some pretty good crab down here about 30 miles. So the season's over tomorrow night at 1800. So that's the deal. Game over.
Just as long as we can get through this right here with all of us not injured, I mean, you know, and we all make it to town safe, that's all that matters.
You can't let yourself be discouraged about it because, I mean, what? We made probably 8 or 10 grand in 5 days. Who else does that? You know, not many people.
Even with the prospect of little or no pay, the end of the season is good news for their greenhorn Levi Dow.
It's quite a relief for me because I'm not used to this much hard work. You know, these guys have been doing it for a couple of years. You know, they're used to it, but it's been a long four days, and by the time we get everything out of the water, it'll be 5 days. So we're all gonna have to stay up for the whole duration pretty much to get this gear out of water by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening.
The weather's pretty nasty and we're going to be hauling in the trout, so watch your asses, okay?
Exhausted from 20-hour workdays, the crew will have to dig deep for this last hurrah. They'll pull and stack the 800-pound crab pots only to reset them in a different area.
It's going to be a wild ride here, all the way down it.
It's totally sunny just a minute ago, and now we're in the middle of a blizzard. About 5 minutes later.
And it's slicker and hell around here on the deck too. Really gotta watch it. You gotta hold on to something when you're running around.
You get the full mixture, sloppy weather, snow, the effort level it takes. It's just everything you can do to stand up. It's just very taxing on your body.
I want to get it done and go home.
Even the first day we come up here, we want to get it done and go home. We love fishing, but, you know, hey, it's only so we can have a life.
Okay, guys, let's blow this one fast. We've got to catch up here. We're getting behind.
Roger.
Meanwhile, Larry Hendricks has made the journey out west and has been setting his pots for the last 12 hours. As the crew pulls up their first pot, they're about to find out if Larry's hunch was right. If they strike out here, their catch will barely cover the boat's expenses, and the crew will walk off the boat broke.
Come on with some crab. Papa needs a new Harley.
Might be the mother load area.
After 4 days of bad luck, the Sea Star's fortune has finally turned around.
I heard a crab call my name. What did he say? Take me to town. Make money for you.
All the way to the bay.
5-0. Roger. That's what's left of a 5-10 pound codfish. All you got's a skeleton. They take it clean. They love it.
A season can be made in 1 string or 2 strings, and it was made in 2 strings for us. So we got mother luck on our side, and away we went.
Up in the wheelhouse, Larry will pass on the good news to his partner boat, the Shaman, who will start heading their way to partake in their good fortune. Surviving on coffee and adrenaline, this old-time crew will work through the night while on the crab.
6-5. 65. Roger.
The last day of the season dawns to more pots of gold. It is the best-case scenario in crab fishing. The crew sees money in their pockets and no one has gotten hurt.
It's nice crab. It's really nice crab. So I want all you people out there to go out and have a king crab dinner tonight.
That's money in the bank, boys.
Their celebration is short-lived. A frantic mayday comes over the radio from their partner boat, the Shaman.
I'm in 64. Hey, look for Shaman, Kenny.
19.45, hurry.
19.45. 19.45. When we get closer, get up high and keep a good eye. Hey, Kenny? Okay, he's got a second man in the water. There's 2 men in the water now. He had 1 man go over. He sent another man over in a survival suit.
He's not too far away, so we're gonna go look.
$19.45, hurry.
19.45. 19.45. Hey, Kenny? Okay, he's got a second man in the water. He had 1 man go over. He sent another man over in a survival suit to lift the guy or assist the guy. There's 2 men in the water now. It was Dan's cook on board the vessel. He's cooked aboard here many years. Him and I have always been good friends, and it just doesn't look good for him.
The man overboard is Terry Rosendahl.
And keep a good eye.
Terry's the most experienced man there probably, so he's probably on top.
As end-of-the-season fatigue catches up with the crews, every task on the deck of a crab boat becomes treacherous. Only the most experienced crew members are allowed to do the dangerous task of securing the pots down 60 feet above the churning water.
This goes to show experience, inexperience, man. She can grab you.
Get a couple men up the top looking there. Just right on top of the house. Come on, Terry.
After several tense minutes, the shaman finally appears on the horizon.
1932. Yeah, okay, there's a second man in the water.
Larry Hendricks relays information to the Coast Guard.
Yeah, get those, where's those smokes? Where's those smokes?
I got him here, Larry.
Release them, now.
The crew release smoke pots to help guide the rescue chopper already on its way.
Pass on, we have orange smoke going in the air.
Yeah, Drag Star, we got 1 of the men in survival suit. Now we're just looking for the guy overboard.
Okay, they've lost him?
We don't see me. We're there. Our position is 1928 and 3266.
Along with the Sea Star, several other boats have responded to the Mayday and are on scene to assist with the rescue. They form a half circle downstream from the shaman to intercept the men overboard in case the strong current sweeps them past.
266. Hold on, this is Dan, Captain John. We've got the man overboard back on board. Everybody's back on board. Waving the water off the deck is unconscious.
Okay, is he breathing, Dano?
No, he's not. Not yet.
Okay, keep working on him.
It is fine.
Okay, there's the helicopter right there.
With Terry on board but unconscious, the Coast Guard mission goes from search and rescue to life support.
We're going to do a high-performance lift so we can continue to perform CPR on the hook, and we're going to bring this guy up. Look.
Hypothermic team, in other words, a medical team that is trained in this, and see if they can bring him to. They've been administering CPR now since they got him on board, and there's always that good chance, and we're just going to have to pray that it happens. Oh God, I just hope that by the luck of the Lord that he's gonna be okay. You're gonna have a mother that's lost a second son to the ocean.
Damn, too, right at the end of the season, man. Just wrapping stuff up.
That's the name of the game, this game. That's why it's considered a dangerous job.
I don't know what to say, you know. When I usually pray for something, it's usually when I pray, I give thanks for something. This time I prayed for him, I guess.
"150 miles to the southeast aboard the Erla N, Captain Bing Hinkle is hoping a different kind of prayer will be answered.
Okay, guys, let's haul this one fast. Let's get some crab aboard. We're gotta catch up here. We're behind.
Supposed to catch anything on a pond like that, guys. Come on.
With only hours left, one string finally lands on a large school of crab. And it's a sprint to the finish to haul as much crab as possible before the season ends. Each male keeper crab averages $30. At that price, the money can add up quickly. The rest of the fleet are also busy pulling up their last pots, marking another end to this yearly event.
Okay, guys, that's the last pot. Thanks for the great job. Take this crab back to Dutch.
Good job, Levi. Right on.
Hey, solid work, my brother. Solid work.
Dude, I was there for a while. I didn't know if I was gonna make it.
I think that we've evolved from the greenhorn. They've got a season under their belt. They've earned the right to be called half-share men. No more greenhorn for these guys.
It's definitely an adventure.
It's a two-world existence. If I was home, I'd for sure be golfing. We're slamming these babies on. Everybody's up till we're done. We're putting our toys back in the box and going home.
Solid.
For the greenhorns, Levi and Jason, it has been a trial by fire.
You did a good job. You really did. So.
At 6 p.m. on October 20th, the season is officially over. And the fleet starts the 20-hour journey back to Dutch Harbor, where the boats will unload the crab at the processing plants. Around 10 p.m., Larry Hendricks receives an update on his friend Terry Rosendal's condition.
How's it going? Have you found out any information?
Yeah, he didn't make it, so he didn't make it.
Okay, Daniel. God damn it. You're gonna have to contact Terry's mother. Does she know, or what's the Morgenthau done?
She's been contacted by the Texas Rangers. The Alaska State Troopers got a hold of the Texas Rangers. They contacted her. Bye-bye.
Early the next morning, the Northwestern pulls into Dutch Harbor and docks next to the Shaman, where they find out about Terry's death. What should be a celebration turns to sorrow.
Yeah, that sucks.
Something you don't want to hear.
In a matter of seconds, no matter what job you have out there, anything can happen. Be decapitated, you can lose an arm. Hey, you are out there on a pitching deck and working with really, heavy pots, heavy machinery, and you can trip and get squished, just in a matter of seconds.
It's not so bad when you hear about them losing a boat and you get everybody back. It's when you hear about them losing a guy, it happens. It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
The crab these men put their lives on the line for is being offloaded as they speak. The Northwestern has scored big this season, hauling in 100,000 pounds of crab, worth over $500,000. All full-share deckhands will walk away with $35,000 in their pockets. While the Erla N limped through their season, in the end they persevered and hauled in 45,000 pounds of crab, earning their deckhands $12,000 each. This was a big disappointment for Bing and the crew of the Erla N.
There's guys that fish, and then there's crab fishermen. If you're a fisherman, pal, you better get used to the fact that not every season is the golden season.
But just getting through even one season on the Bering Sea is a badge of honor for anyone. For Levi Dow, one season will be enough.
No, I'm not coming back. It's one of the fisheries I've always wanted to do. Put underneath my belt. Something I can tell my kid about so that my son can say, well, my dad's one of the most dangerous jobs in the world and managed to come home safe.
But for every 100 greenhorns that walk away, one will stay.
I think I'll be coming back next season. I like this stuff. Kind of dig it.
For Larry Hendricks, this season has been one of highs and lows. His big gamble had paid off. Most of his 50,000-pound catch came in the last day of the season, earning his crew around $13,000 each. But no amount of money will make up for the loss of a close friend.
It'll be a day I'll always remember for the rest of my life. You lose a friend to the ocean, it's something we don't expect. Then all of a sudden life disappears and I won't be able to talk to him again. That's what hurts. It's like losing part of you.
Every year, this high seas drama will continue to unfold at the edge of the earth, while the rest of the world waits for the fruit of these men's labor. Alaskan king crab. The crab will be processed and packaged in Dutch Harbor, then travel thousands of miles, where it will be steamed and served up at restaurants around the world for market price, up to $30 a pound. A far cry from the $5 paid to those who put their lives on the line. The men returning from king crab season will have a brief shore leave. They'll reunite with their families and enjoy some peace before they head out again in only 3 months for an even deadlier journey. Fishing for opilio crab in the middle of winter in the Bering Sea's northernmost waters, where they'll encounter the biggest ice storm in years.
Gale warning, east wind 45 knots, east 24 feet.
Once again, the fishermen will try to harvest nature's bounty, but the Bering Sea won't give up her riches without a fight. A deceptively still morning greets Dutch Harbor on January 12th. It is the calm before the storm. "400 miles to the northwest, a massive Arctic storm is forming, and it is bearing down on the winter crab fishing grounds." But back in Dutch Harbor, the crab fleet prepares to head out to these same waters, where they will fish for opilio crab for the next 10 days. Opilio crab is a smaller cousin of the king crab. They are fished in the Bering Sea's remote and dangerous northern region. Compared to king crab season, opilio season is a marathon of pain. Longer, colder, and much deadlier. Arctic storms and below freezing temperatures trigger tons of ice to build up on the crab boats. Such ice buildup can make boats top-heavy and capsize. Scores have gone down as a result. Slippery decks and 30-foot waves make the most unstable work environment for fishermen. Falling overboard is common and usually fatal. As the crews prepare their boats, the ship captains gather to vote on the price offered by buyers.
Now we're going to close the meeting to members only, and we'll announce the price offers that we have.
This year, the agreed price will be $2.05 per pound. With a fleet quota set at 19 million pounds, this year's catch will be worth $39 million. What is not yet determined is how the riches will be divided amongst the 183 boats. This question will be answered in 10 grueling days at sea. If a lucky boat puts its pots in the right place, it could earn $500,000 and put up to $30,000 in the pockets of each crew member. Coming off a disappointing king crab season, Bing Hinkle and the crew of the Erla N will have a shot at redemption.
I can't think about my last season. You know, it wasn't too bad. It was okay. We made some money. But this one here, I'd like to make even more.
The Erla N will compete against the Saga, captained by one of the fleet's youngest skippers, 37-year-old Roger Strong. But youth doesn't always mean inexperience.
The only job I've had for over 18 years, and sometimes when the weather's crappy or the fishing sucks, I want to quit, but overall it always comes out, and I still really enjoy it.
They will go up against a fishing family legacy. Captain Ole Helgevold and his 2 sons aboard the Arctic Dawn.
Want to get out and in safely, with the crew intact. We do what we do. Once we get out there, we'll see what happens.
But as they compete against each other, they will all go head-to-head with the fury of Mother Nature. It's the morning of January 13th, and the fleet prepares to depart at 12 noon for the 30-hour journey to the winter fishing grounds. The ice floes in Dutch Harbor are just another indicator of what's to come. Veteran skippers like Bing Hinkle have survived some of the worst storms on the planet, but Arctic storms are just another risk that comes with the world's deadliest job.
The seas were building up from the west across the Bering Sea. They're just huge. You couldn't. Guys were blowing out windows. There were 7 boats that night that blew out their windows. So we'll just see what happens. I'll guarantee you, there's not much that's going to stop us from trying.
Bad weather affects the pace of fishing and will put even more pressure on the crew to be on top of their game.
Every single thing, but exactly where it goes.
On the Erla N, there are new faces working the deck for Opie season. But veteran deck bosses just want one thing: a willingness to work through the pain of crab fishing.
You get a chain on it, it'll be fine.
Having toughed it out during king crab season on the Erla N, this will be Jason's first winter on the Bering Sea.
Jason, he's my guy. He knows how to work. He don't complain. You know, he's on it. He wants to do stuff right. He wants to do the job.
It'll be different because we'll probably be breaking ice off gear. Waters might be worse. For Reds, we had engine problems, but Bing's record is really good for Obies.
At 12 noon, the fleet is cleared to leave. Once again, the world's last great gold rush has begun.
We're on our way now. I'm pretty excited. I feel good.
Just behind the Erla N,
Okay, go ahead and toss him.
Saga captain Roger Strong is ready to tie off. Joining Roger's crew for his first opilio crab season is 23-year-old Kevin Davis, a first-year greenhorn with plenty to learn about crab fishing in Alaska.
I was told that king crab started in August. I said, okay. So I got up here August 15th, and I guess I was lied to. It didn't start until October. So I had no money, so I had to get a job at a fishing processing plant. And it just, the slime line is what they call it. They're coming 1 per second. And I was on the butcher line, and I had to cut every single one of them. And you get carpal tunnel like you can't believe. And I told myself I'll never do this again. First boat I saw, as a matter of fact, was the Saga, and it was kind of trippy because I walked down and I saw the name, and I thought to myself, the Saga continues. 2 weeks I've been pounding the docks. By the grace of God, I got put onto this boat.
I
can't think of any place else right now I'd rather be, so.
The roar of diesel engines signaled the start of another season. On October 13th at 12:20, the Saga and her crew head into the Bering Sea on a wing and a prayer.
What I really like about the Saga is it's been owned by the same person for the 26 years it's been around. He's very spiritual, and he's got a close relationship with the man upstairs or woman upstairs, whoever knows what that higher power might be. And you feel blessed being on this boat. It's the only job I've had for over 18 years, and I still really enjoy it. I can only control so much of what goes on my boat and with my crew, and I understand there's always a chance of risk and a chance of something happening, but there's always a factor that you can't control.
I really hate to drown. I mean, if I'm gonna die, I don't want to drown. I guess if we hit this water, you only got a couple minutes to live, so you probably really doesn't matter much. So I try not to think about that. Try not to think about that at all.
The captains race to their favorite crabbing spot in the vast 40,000 square mile fishing grounds. King crab season already claimed one ship and the life of one man. But this is opilio season, and the Bering Sea will be even less forgiving. This time, these men will have to beat even greater odds if they are to come home from this season alive. On an unusually clear Alaskan winter day, the fleet has started their 30-hour run to the opilio fishing grounds in the northern Bering Sea. Establishing position on well-known fishing spots is most important for competitive captains. But back in Dutch Harbor and hours behind the rest of the fleet, Ole Helgevold, captain of the Arctic Dawn, is just getting ready to embark.
We're almost ready. We're getting close, real close. Still need to tighten up the deck.
Morning, Joel.
Morning.
What's happening?
Another bunch, man. Rough night. In the
What's
trenches.
that?
Trenches, Dutch Harbor.
Oh, just trying to fix the pump. Now after that, pick it up and get going.
We're all locked and loaded. We got all the pots ready. And they're all fishing machines. They will catch the crab. They will catch the crab.
As the Arctic Dawn makes its way to northern waters, this season brings Ole, a second-generation fisherman, one step closer to passing on the legacy to his sons.
My sons, I would rather that they had gone to school, but being as they tried school and decided to come back to the fishery, yes. I want the boys to take over.
It's probably expected of me to take over the old man's spot, number one son and all. And if I'm not gonna become a skipper, I'd like to go to school to become an archaeologist.
I love fishing with my dad. I'm not a regular kind of deckhand, you know. He explains everything to me and where the crab are at and where we're at, and I learned a lot, and I teach him stuff too.
On the way to the fishing grounds, the Arctic Dawn runs into the tail end of the fleet. And Corey spots a reminder of how long his father has been fishing.
The old man used to run that boat too, the KDK. Actually, the Russians were chasing him around in that one.
Yeah, years ago, back in '86, I was fishing up towards the Russian border there. I looked over in the radar at 6 mile range. I've got a big target coming down on me. I mean, very large. And I thought, uh-oh, this is it.
They thought he was in their territory, and he knew he wasn't, but they still came after him.
This patrol boat is steaming down on me probably, I don't know, 25 knots anyways, and he's heading straight at me. I had the pedal to the metal, and we were steaming to the southeast as fast as we could possibly go, thinking this guy was going to try and make another pass.
And he outran those bastards. Oh, with help of the Coast Guard and some F-16.
I got a hold of the Coast Guard. The Russians, they were gone.
Skillful. A lot of skill and willpower. Can't nobody take the old man.
Kind of incredible, though. It lasted for three or 4 hours, seemed like a couple days. I've never been back since.
After a 30-hour run to the northern Bering Sea, most of the fleet has reached their favorite fishing spots. The Opilio Crab Derby will start in just a few hours, and the crew on the Erla N is knee-deep in cod and chopped herring. The endless ritual of prepping bait has begun.
Cut the fish, fill up the bait bag, secure the bait bag, secure the fish. This is a hanging fish, hanging bait. So for the crab to feed on so we can get a frenzy, create a frenzy so they can get all the brothers or cousins or uncles to come join them. Seafood buffet.
Been doing it about 20 years. When it's time to go fishing, that's the fun part, really. All that crap in town finally comes down to this. Get some bait in the pots, get them in the water, collect some bugs. We gotta do good for Opies, because that kicks off the year. Ming doesn't really settle down much until he knows every pot's on the crab. He always feels the pressure, he always pushes.
Just make sure those doors are good and tight.
Check everyone for holes, Lance.
You check the knots, every one of them.
A lot of these guys have been fishing a long time. They know you have good seasons, you have bad seasons, and every dog has his day, I guess. We're gonna be setting pretty fast here, so watch those feet. Don't get wrapped up in that line or the buoy lines.
100 miles to the south aboard the Saga, first-time Opie fisherman Kevin Davis gets ready to set crab pots in hopes that his fortune can be found at the bottom of the sea.
First day, I love it. This is the exciting part. When the day's over, if the day ever is over, then it's just routine again, but this right now is fun. I'd like to take this time to say hi to a few people just in case. Give it a shout out. I'd like to say hi to my mother and my father. I'm safe for the time being.
3 minutes to blast off here.
I'm running the crane over here. This. We got Steve up here on the stack who's untying the pots. And I pick it up, swing it over, get it ready to go in the launcher. And I swing it over down in the launcher. These boys land it with the door facing in so you can open it up. As soon as we get the door open, they get the shots and the buoys out. John takes the buoys, unties them. Daniel swings the shots around, unties them, separates them, puts one up on the pot, and keeps 2 on the deck so he can throw them separate so they don't get tangled up. While he's doing that, Kevin takes the bait and hangs it in. They shut the door, tie it off, and we're ready to splash.
Even with all the planning in the world, no one can predict where the big schools of crab will be this year.
We got Zulu 5-1, first pot going out.
As the clock strikes 12, the pots go over.
First pot just went in the water at 12:03.
Opilio crabs bottom feed on the Bering Sea's northernmost muddy floors. Schools of opies form in strands, making them the most elusive of bottom feeders. A string of pots can cross this strand and deliver an average catch, but the goal is to hit the mother lode by landing a string along the entire length of a school of crab.
As far as for throwing these shots, I still feel like I'm 21, believe it or not. How am I gonna fare? A lot better than those guys, because I'm an old salt. I know things that they haven't even learned yet. So, things like that, it just takes...
Grab me a cup of coffee, will you?
Yes, sir.
The fleet gets a jump on the Arctic Dawn, whose skipper Ole Helgevold is used to working at his own pace.
I was gonna slide back, but that ain't gonna work. Okie doke. To get this show on the road.
This opie season's gonna be short. You know, we only have 17 million pounds split up between 180 boats out here. You know, so it's not gonna go any more than probably 10 days, maybe 12 days maximum. I hope we're gonna get a lot of crab in these pots.
Hoping to land on a school of crab, the crew works through the entire day, dropping all 70 of their pots.
That was the last pot.
Mission accomplished.
No problems, everything went pretty smooth. They were on top of it. I think the whole crew was on top of it. And I'm pretty proud of the boys that took care of the business.
That's a couple few hundred pounds, see if we can do it.
While most captains pick up and drop their pots continuously, Ole's strategy is to let his soak at the bottom of the sea at least 15 hours before even checking for crab.
I don't think we're that energetic anymore to just pull on a short soak. Let it soak. I mean, if you baited it up good, the crab will come to you.
The gear is in the water. We're gonna be rich in 3 weeks. Hopefully.
Now everybody's just looking forward to hitting the bunk, getting some TV time, waiting for the gear to soak, and hoping for crabs dancing in the gear in the morning.
While the captains focus on the fortunes to be had at the bottom of the ocean, it will soon shift to the surface. They will receive news over the radio that no captain wants to hear.
Heavy freezing spray means ice.
A massive Arctic storm is headed their way, and the game is about to change. This morning, the Bering Sea crab fleet laid their pots on the ocean floor.
First pot of Opie's 2004 coming up.
Here we go, boys. First one.
After 8 hours of soak time, the Erla N prepares to haul in their first string of pots. The deckhands hook the buoy line attached to the 500 feet of rope that must be pulled up for every pot. For the Erla N, more than usual is riding on this first pot. Bing has gotten lucky this time and appears to be on his way to redemption.
Beautiful crowd. It's very exciting, very exciting.
While opies are smaller than king crabs, they come in larger numbers. There's a lot of sorting ahead for the crew, but each crab is like a $5 bill going into the tank.
Money, money. That's good.
Get those crab off the deck. And out of the pot.
While a good start bodes well for the Erla N, veteran skippers like Bing Hinkle know that everything can change in an instant on the Bering Sea.
You just cross your fingers, every day. You never know what the day is gonna bring. So far, so good, but things could change at any time.
As the horizon displays a clear ring of boats in the distance, the radio brings news that no crab boat captain ever wants to hear.
Heavy freezing spray means ice on the boat. The wind is starting to come from the northeast now, and that means icing conditions, very cold. It stands a good chance of rolling over if you have a high center of gravity.
Freezing spray, we may start icing up tomorrow. Hopefully the deck don't get too icy on this and too slippery. Should be interesting.
For Jason's first January season, the already back-breaking 20-hour workdays will only get worse. While Bing prepares for the ice storm and pulls full crab pots, 100 miles to the south, the Saga approaches its first string of pots.
It's about 10:38. We'll be there hauling gear just before 11 in about another 15 minutes. I like to see anywhere from 75 to 100 crab per pot.
What? You guys ready?
John, how many? 23.
Roger.
It's worse than I thought it would be, but I'm sure we'll find it. I didn't even get a whole count, 23. That was a far shot what we need.
Up in the wheelhouse, Roger notes the number of crab in every pot, which helps him map the way they are moving on the ocean floor.
14.
It's first pick. He'll get better. I know it will.
It's really way too early to tell, I think. I don't think we've had a long enough soak time yet, so we'll see. You know, nothing to worry about.
29.
29.
Oh, it's gonna pick up, man. I don't get discouraged with this. That fishing is why they call it fishing and not catching.
After several poor strings of pots, the crew takes in a quick dinner break.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really tired. But you get to a point where you like forget that you're tired or something, I don't know, and you just kind of go zombie, is what we say.
No matter how tired Kevin is, Roger must make sure his greenhorn keeps to task, or it costs the crew time and money.
When there's a bunch of sorting, the main thing you want to get that bucket cleared, right? So the guy at the rail is totally capable of taking care of his own bags. So by the time you count like 30 or 40 seconds it takes to do the bags or whatever, that's another exactly.
Frustrated with his first catch, Roger gambles on a time-consuming run 100 miles north in hopes of better luck.
We're gonna go ahead and just make a little move. I've decided it's early enough in the season that we can go.
This gamble for better crab gives the crew an extended break of nearly 6 hours, a luxury during crab season. But they are headed straight into the teeth of the Arctic storm. This huge ice storm will wreak havoc on the fleet over the next few days. It will be a white-knuckle ride for the captains, and the crews will suffer on deck. But it is the greenhorns that will suffer the most, and for one of them, their worst nightmare is about to come true.
I really hate to drown. I mean, if I'm gonna die, I don't want to drown.
Man overboard, Kevin just went over the rail.